if you want to be great and if you want to be successful, you need to study the greats and the successful. Let's say if you want to be an athlete, right? You need to study some of the greatest athletes, some of your favorites, and then you do things as they do. Me personally, Muhammad Ali is one of my favorite, athletes. I don't do boxing, but I do bodybuilding, working out in the gym and stuff like that. So earlier on, I realized that what was so different about Muhammad Ali. When you look at Muhammad Ali, he's not so. When you look at his physique, he doesn't look as scary as some of like Sonny Listing and other of the people that he was fighting with. They look like scary people. They look like jacked. They look like physically fit men. But there was something about Muhammad Ali, and I was really interested in that. Like, what did he do differently? I love reading. I love books as well, and I found that Muhammad Ali also had, great love, for reading and studying the greats. Equally, Mike Tyson is also one of my favorite, like sportsmen of all time. And if you know anything about Mike Tyson, then you know that he's a very ferocious reader as well. So I realized, like, okay, this is something that is common between these two people. Even though Mike Tyson, obviously compared to Muhammad Ali, he looked like scary and fit and stuff like that. But anyway, I saw a commonality between these people that, okay, they are both like ferocious readers. So I thought, like, what do they read? Well, obviously Mike Tyson has said in a couple of podcasts that he was reading about Achilles, Alexander the Great, the greatest warriors and stuff like that. So you realize that when you read about your heroes and you know what they do and what they read, how they live, what they believe in, and how they discipline themselves and stuff like that, you try to model that, and then when you try to model that, you start to create habits similar to their habits, and you're never gonna be like them, because obviously you are unique in your own way. Everybody is created uniquely in their own way. But if you can learn from the people that inspire and motivate you, and if you know what they read, try to get hands on them and read them. And if you know what they eat, what time do they wake up, what time do they go to sleep, what is their daily routine and stuff like that. If you can somehow remodel that, it can also help you to be if not greater than them, then also maybe equally as great, or maybe greater in your own way. So me personally, when somebody inspires me and stuff like that, I try to, for example, now, because most of the people that inspire me, they have podcasts, they do interviews and stuff like that. So I will listen to the interviews that they do, like where people interview them and stuff like that. And sometimes they say, like, okay, I read this book earlier on, or I'm reading this book now. I try to somehow get access to some of those books, so that I can know what type of mindset they have, how they are thinking. Because sometimes when you read certain type of books, you are able to think in certain type of way. So I realized that for me, one of the things that has also helped me, especially in my fitness journey and also in my business journey, and equally in life as well, like, is I realized, like, there are people that I have specific interests that inspire and motivate me way more than other people. So when I find those type of people, I try to get a little bit into their mindset, into their way of life, and then I try to remodel that. There's a saying that people address you by the way that you dress. So I realized at a point that most of the people that I was trying to model, they wore suits and stuff like that. Obviously, my job at the time, I was working as a full-time nurse. So my job at the time, you don't wear suits. But I realized that, okay, when I'm going to work, I cannot wear suits. But every other opportunity that I have, like if I go to social events and stuff like that, I would wear suits. So I started to wear suits just to model the people that I was trying to model. And I realized, like, when I went to places, I was respected, recognized, and like kind of like dignified. So in a way, I realized that some of the things that that they did that I was also modeling and trying to do, I could see that, they really work. So sometimes, it's very important to identify who are your heroes and who are the people who inspire you, and then figure out, like, how are they living? Are they exercising? Are they reading a lot? Are they family people? Do they journal? Do they do this? Do they do that? And then if you find out what they do, obviously, habits are what make people successful. So if you can find out about a good habit that your heroes, practice, or their routines, and then you can model that, I think it will help you. It has helped me, and for sure, it has helped a lot of other people, also great people. So I think this will also help you. If you want to read some book about how to form habits and stuff like that, Atomic Habits is one very good and interesting book that you can read. So you can check it out, Atomic Habit. But other than that, find your heroes, identify their routines, their habits, and model that, because modeling is very important aspect of learning also, because you learn, you watch, you model action. So yeah, this is my advice for today. If you're not following yet, please follow, subscribe, and share. And if this helps you in any way, leave a comment, and hopefully we'll be sharing more content like this. Thank you. My name is Godson Pratt.